Creativity isn't easy. Timelines are getting shorter, clients value speed, and you're facing competition from creatives all around the globe. Professionals in every industry use tools. Creatives don't have to be that exception. We don't wait for ideas to come to us. We hunt them down. What are we doing?
We're doing an episode on how to be creative.
How to be creative?
Yeah.
Alright, that's what we're known for. What we're going to do is talk to loads of different people in the agency today about how they become creative, like where their idea gen process comes from, and like how even we come up with our like wild ideas that we do. And there's brainstorms and there's data which goes into that. Everything starts with data and insight. So yeah, let's go and see what's going on. So we've been talking about creativity this week.
Yeah.
Like, ideas in this business come from everywhere. It doesn't have to be like the PR team, the creative team. It's like culture, like you said recently on LinkedIn. It's culture.
Not a department.
But one thing people don't know, when I first joined, you were creative director.
Yes.
And like,
did you not know that?
No, I knew that, but I bet they don't.
No.
Sources don't know.
Yeah, sources don't know. You were creative director. I've always been probably one of the central ideas people within the business.
Yeah.
How do you learn to be creative? Is it literally in the bath, have an idea?
Honestly, everything boils down to real life experiences and insight. Literally it. You've got to be researchers. Creative people, what they do is ask questions. They're curious all the time. And what do you do when you ask questions? You Google. One piece of insight can spark a creative idea. I read this fact that when you watch a sunset, it releases this certain kind of, I don't know, endorphin or something scientifically inside you, but it reduces stress. It basically makes you more happier when you watch a sunset. It's like a scientific fact that sunsets make you happier and more relaxed. So I did a campaign around that. It was for Sparsy because all around like the feeling of sunsets and watching their sunsets all around the world. So that one bit of insight, a fun fact that I read online, created this idea that I had, and I won about 5 awards for that. All around sunsets. So honestly, there's no scientific explanation of being creative. It's all to do with research. Anyone can be creative, and that's why people like SEOs and data people are actually more creative than most people, and it's because everything is backed by an insight, backed by a piece of data that they just find out of nowhere. So yeah, that's really the secret. We're about to launch a live dashboard, and it's an insight dashboard across every industry. It's trending searches, it's what people are talking about today, even down to the weather. How hot is it today? You know, is snow predicted in the next couple of days? Because then all of a sudden, you know, getting insight into a live dashboard sparks ideas. And that's all it needs is a spark. So if you can provide your business or your creatives or your strategists, anything like that, with insight constantly, that's how good ideas come out. So that's our plan.
A brief which is relatively low budget to do PR ideas, reactive and potentially some projects. So we need to think of a couple of small ideas but also a couple of big ideas, not experiential because they've got very low budget and mainly digital.
Brainstorms. We don't have big brainstorms around. We don't have those 10, 12, 15 people brainstorms. They don't work. There's too many things going on, too many ideas, you can't really think and even have any clarity. So we bring a certain type of people into our brainstorms. We have like 4 or 5 people, normally max of 5. We have a voice of the client, so that normally comes from a client lead, someone who really understands the brand, what the client's looking for, can really help in that narrative and make sure the idea is on brand and also on trend. Then we have the account holder, account lead, which is essentially someone who will take ownership of the idea and choose the best idea and sort of really see it through to the end of the process. You also then have a creative in there, so that's someone who's an expert in like data viz or video or design, someone who can like turn this idea into something creative, like seeing what the output will actually look like. And then we also have like an expert, so we do loads of campaigns for like gaming, and when we do a gaming brainstorm, we bring in a gaming expert. So Connor behind the camera, actually, there he is. He came into a brainstorm not long ago. We were pitching ideas for a huge client and came with a brilliant idea because Connor is an ex-gamer. Where were you in the world?
Number 2 on Battlefield.
Number 2 on Battlefield. So he was bringing ideas left, right and centre because he's the expert, he's the audience. That's the audience that we're pitching for. So yeah, bring these type of people into the brainstorm and you'll see all the ideas come together. I don't know. Right, Alice.
Hang on.
You did a pitch last week, or
Yeah, I
few
did.
weeks ago, and we've already actually won it, haven't we?
Yeah, we
But
did the pitch on Thursday and we found out yesterday, so that was good.
how much was it for? Do you remember?
18k a month.
18k a month, huge pitch.
don't know if
But
we're allowed to say
no, we're not going to say the name. But the ideas, right? We pitched ideas.
Yeah.
Do we always pitch ideas?
We don't always, it depends on the client, so it depends. Sometimes they want a bit of a taste of like the example of something that they'll get. But then once they sign on with us, we'll do like a full onboarding, get to know them a bit better.
Yeah.
And then we can come up with some more ideas. Like
Making
depending
sure they're
on
on
the-
brand, fit
Yeah.
the client, also fit the objectives.
Yeah.
So the ideas you pitched, they loved them though, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. I was buzzing.
How did you? So basically, we're talking about how you come up with ideas, how you be creative, and obviously, Grad 7 is known for their creative ideas for the clients
Yeah.
we work with. How do you do it?
Have an idea that fits with the brand and what the client wants.
Yeah.
But it needs to be worthy of the press. So sometimes clients might come to you with an idea that they've come up with, and you've got to make it work for press because it's very brand heavy or like too commercial, if that makes sense.
Your process, your internal process, like.
I'll think over the strategy a little bit more to try and think of the ideas within that like strategy, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'll look at what kind of links do we want, what kind of like, how do publications talk about that topic? So if we talk about, I don't know, food for example, as a topic, having a look at what kind of things the journalists actually write about when it comes to food.
Yeah.
And how could we make a campaign that gives them more like content on that topic?
So what tools do we use for that? Obviously, you've got to have some insight and data. Where do you find it?
I use BuzzSumo quite a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love looking on there because they've got like content analyzers. You can look at, for example, the most searched for questions around specific topics. So that can give you ideas of like content that could rank as well.
If you were to give like one golden tip for someone who wants to start getting better ideas, because you can definitely learn to get better ideas,
Yeah.
what is the golden tip you'd give?
I would say look where the audience are. So like think about who you want your campaigns to reach, who's like the key audience, and then work backwards from there.